Have you ever wanted to hide? You want to help, but you have to take care of your family first. Maybe this next paycheck I can support causes I love. Tell me, how does this sound? You shop, click a picture of a receipt, and pick someone you support while shopping for your family. Well, check out communitypayitforward.us. Hover your mouse here. Click on the Verified Given Partner button and shop with any partner that will satisfy your needs. Grab the receipt because every time you shop, a Community Pay It Forward mission partner receives anywhere from 80 to 90% of a referral. You can find the mission partners by going right here. Each mission has a QR code so you can upload your receipt. And that's it. Shop, click, and pick. Join the program. You shop with small businesses and support great people. Great people who need a little help, or help to support the great people doing great things. Because with Community Pay It Forward, you don't have to hide anymore. Community Pay It Forward knows every small business is essential.
Born into a real fight wasn't right. Where can she dream here? Took a hold of her.
Hey everyone, how's it going? My name is Zach Clayton, Community Pay It Forward founder, Community Pay It Forward, Community Dare to Care, and the IMpACT channels. This is a very, very special day for people in America. We all know what happened 23 years ago. And we all know that there were a lot of people who are still suffering to this day because of what happened at that time. I'd like to bring up a real quick, I guess get on my high horse if you'll allow me to do that. America went through something that was one of the toughest things that we've had to deal with, and especially in our time, okay, from the time of, since World War I, we went at Vietnam, all of those things happened, but they happened in other soil. This was something that happened on our soil, and this was the biggest thing to happen on our soil since the Civil War. We did something as a community, folks. We did something as a community, and we made sure that everybody else was okay. It was amazing that we were able to come together as a group of individuals and act as one. I remember the solidarity of those times, and I remember never in my life feeling like more of an American than I did at that time. I would love nothing more than to be able to feel that again. And I really, really think that we can. We know that we have something coming up in less than 60 days that is really splitting this country apart. I've got news for everybody. No matter which person wins, it's not going to be the end of the world. Am I telling you that you can't be disappointed that your candidate didn't win? Hell no, I'm not saying that. If the election goes a certain way, I'm not going to be extremely happy. But remember, our forefathers, our founding fathers, made sure that we are a country that not one man can bring down. Our forefathers made sure that we were not a country that one woman could bring down. So no matter who wins, we are going to wake up the next day, and we as a country need to put our pants on that Wednesday, put our pants on and go our asses to work and make sure that we're doing our best to leave our legacy and not worry about what other people are doing. And let's remember those of you who were around, because guess what? It was 23 years ago. My son, Justice, was months old. I mean, just a little guy, two months old. Yeah, two months old. Not even 2 months old. So, I mean, he doesn't remember 9/11. And that's getting scary that, you know, kids are old enough to not, are young enough to not remember it. You know, it still seems like yesterday to a lot of us. I know that a lot of you guys out there are also sad about another thing. It was a tough fought football season, but it's over now. Okay? Let it go. The football season is done and over with. Hockey training camps open today. We're all healthy. We're all happy. A real sport is back. So remember, as devastating it is for some of you fans out there, you know, your guys gave it a shot. But the football season's over now. So let's concentrate on something good. Let's concentrate on hockey. Rookies reported today so everybody can celebrate. You know, I just had to throw that in there, right? I mean, you absolutely knew I had to throw that in there. Hey, I got one more thing I want to show you here real quick. This is about a brand new networking program that we've got coming up October 10th. And this is a virtual networking program brought to you by Community Pay It Forward. This is a program where you can meet the family, meet all of our mission partners, meet all of our giving partners, the ones who are able to show up, find out what they do. If you're looking for a job, maybe this is the time to join one of these networking programs. Tell people who you are. Maybe it'll give you a way that you can find what you're looking for. This is the family networking. So once again, something brand new we're going to be trying. It's going to be a little bit different. If you are a Community Pay It Forward family partner, we want to see you there. If you want to find out what it's all about, we invite you to come, find out what the family's about, and you can do exactly what this gentleman did and become one of our wonderful. Try that, Les. Let's see if you can stumble through words like that, buddy. But you can join this wonderful man, Mr. Les Simpson. How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing great. Now, I want to clarify something before you came on. You have a cook-off on October 3rd and this networking on the 10th.
Right. Yep.
Okay. We got two things coming. Okay.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And then we've got the miracle of a community that cares that is coming up on December 24th through 26th which is just a celebration of people being able to get together and send messages to their loved ones and thank our wonderful people who are out there working during that holiday season. It's a multicultural event that we're really, really looking forward to. So,
what time's the network on the 10th?
The networking it's the second Thursday of the month at 3 p.m. Mountain, 5 p.m. Eastern. So it's 3 p.m. Mountain, 5 p.m. Eastern time. And it's going to be on the IMpACT channel. So even if you just want to check it out for the first time, you can come to the IMpACT channel. You can check it out. You can see all the people who are there. Meet some of the people, ask any questions you would like. It's going to be right here, so you can watch it like you're watching us now. Les, let me ask you a question here. Let's get back to the seriousness of today. Where were you when you found out what was going on 9/11?
Well, it was quite interesting. Our anniversary is the 22nd.
Okay.
And so we were sitting on the couch and watching and preparing all the preparations for our wedding. And and then, of course, when we saw what we saw on TV, we couldn't believe it. And my then-to-be wife, Suzanne, she's a therapist. And so within an hour, she started receiving calls from clients and saying, "Is this it? Is this end?" And so she had to really soothe some feathers and so forth at the same time preparing for our wedding. So it was a happy, sad time.
Yeah, I could imagine it was. Like I said, my son, Justice, was born on July 28th. So, he was just a little over a month old, still very, very young child. And I remember I was at work at the Office Lounge in Loveland, by the way, one of the best places you can go for food. Great place to go for adult beverages. If you're in Loveland, go and check it out. Tell them I said hi. But I remember I was there cleaning, and when I got there, I turned on SportsCenter. I was watching SportsCenter, and my boss called me and he said, what are you doing? What are you watching? And I told him, Mom, got SportsCenter on. Why? He goes, you need to change it to the news now. And I was like, okay, that's weird. My boss has never called me in the morning, and told me to change the news right away. And I changed it, and I turned on the TV, and 5 seconds later, the second tower was hit. So it was just instantaneous. I didn't even understand what I was looking at. And then all of a sudden that second plane hit. And I remember feeling at that time such confusion, because you were just sitting there going, what the hell is going on here? Like I said, Les, this is something that this doesn't happen in our countries. There are people who live with this every day. Mm-hmm. And for us to deal with that, it was a weird, sad time. What are some of the things that you and your wife did? Because I'd imagine that it was a pretty difficult time to continue to go through with the wedding, with all the solemn thoughts and everything. What are some of the things that you and your wife did to make sure that you guys kept in the moment?
Well, I guess the whole idea, in fact, our flowers canceled from coming overseas. Her brother, who was going to give her away, was trapped in Europe. And so her uncle gave her away and so forth. But it was more like I guess say just keep being busy, and we were bound determined that we were going to Hawaii. And so it was in fact, because of it, when we got to Hawaii, nobody was there. And so we got unbelievable tours and different things. But the other thing is, it was scary because when we got to the airport, soldiers were everywhere.
Yeah.
In both airports. And it did remind us that, the United States had changed. But at the same time, we were bound determined to enjoy our honeymoon.
Les, let me ask you this. You've made it well known, and I've tried to make sure that people understand that you are a wonderful hero. You served our country, and as a veteran, what did you feel as that was going on? What was your thoughts?
Complete invasion of our privacy, our safety, our comfort, and wondering how the United States was going to change when they got in that far. And so it was because I was in 74 through 77, and but it was just the whole concept of how much change is going to happen.
Well, there was a lot of change that came of it. We know that traveling is nowhere near as easy as it used to be. That's for sure. And
yeah,
and with 9/11 and with COVID, things keep coming up and surprising us here in America, and teaching us that we are not invincible. We need to watch ourselves, and we need to make sure that we're preparing ourselves for things that can happen, because we can be touched and we can be harmed. So, but Les, you've got a new program that you're working with. You went to a seminar or participated in a seminar, and you learned a lot of stuff about one of the major tools that we as business people utilize every day. You want to get started and tell us a little bit about it?
Sure. First off, one of the things I've talked to a lot of businesses, and they're very, very frustrated with LinkedIn because it is so difficult. To get people on it, there's people out there that charge an arm and a leg to coach on it. In fact, I'm going to be talking about one of those world experts, and he is a world expert, Mike O'Neill. He actually was forced into LinkedIn. He was working with Salesforce, got laid off, and he found out that LinkedIn had the same concepts as Salesforce. But he was number 125,000 to sign up on LinkedIn, and he started studying it. And for how many years? He's probably 40 years, maybe 50 years. He's been studying it and teaching it all over the world. In fact, to give you a concept what kind of expert he's respected as, the webinar that I watched was $45 for 34 minutes, and he had 50 people on it. So he got $2,000 for that 34 minutes. But I'm going to go through, because what we talked about last time is I represent a company called Corecentrica, and for $1,000 a month, as you as a business person, we go out to LinkedIn for you and find your ideal client, not one that you just wish you didn't have, an ideal client. And we follow up and bring them back to you, and they're 80% ready to sign up. Now they say, first off, how possible 80%? Well, if you go to Amazon, you can download a book called Cracking the Learning Code for $5. The gentleman that wrote it, J.W. Wilson, has been working with universities for 30 years on this. And the learning code is basically the way our brain wants to receive information. Unfortunately, most messages these days in marketing, it's kind of like pounding on a head with a hammer saying, let me in. And in fact, 90% of all marketing fails, even to return on investment what they paid. And with us, we contact the person the way they want to be contacted, and there's a lot to that. But it is so effective. For $1,000, we go out and find, if you're working with a business or a professional, we go out and find your ideal client. And one of the other things people say, well, what's different on learning code? Well, these numbers will tell you a little bit. You've been told by many people that you need to have 10 to 12 touches or contacts for a person to become a client. With learning code, we have white papers that show this after 1,000 different campaigns. We change it to 5 to 6 times. But again, you don't have to do any of it. We do it. So when we bring the client to you, they're 80% ready to sign up. In fact, when we talk about how good it is, out of 127 clients last year, oh, by the way, after 90 days, if we don't bring you back $3,000 in new business, we give your money back because you're not our client. Well, of 127 clients last year, we only had to refund the money of 2. That's a 1.5% failure rate or a 9.8% success rate, however you want to look at it. And so the whole concept is our clients are ones that are tired of the marketing game and they want somebody to do for it. And what I'm going to be showing you next, if you go to the CoreCentricAnews.com, first off, sign up for our newsletter right there. And then the website will open to you. And then now you can learn about the brain. Over on the right under blog, you can learn the 24 different ways the brain wants to be attracted.
And look, I know the young man who started this program, who you're working directly with, and it's amazing that this. Let's be honest, Les. This kid.
Yep. In fact, tell it a little bit about the kid. One of the things I tell all my clients when I introduce to it, brace yourself.
Yeah, it's scary.
Sam is 20 years old.
Yeah. But
he graduated university at 16, started his first business at 16 and a half. Now he has 3 different businesses, and he's just a genius. And what's funny is he met J.W. Wilson at a conference. He was there speaking on marketing. J.W. is a psychologist. He was speaking on the brain. And they said, well, J.W. says, I know the brain. Sam says, I know marketing. And so they designed the program. And it's been unbelievably effective. But what I was going to say is that's the easy way. What I'm going to talk to you tonight, step by step, of what Mike O'Neill says about LinkedIn. And by the way, you can go to schedulewithmike.com anytime you want. He will give you a half hour to an hour. And then I'm going to go through all the different things he teaches in his coaching program for $1,000 a month. And after a year, hopefully you know LinkedIn enough where you don't have to pay the $1,000 a month. If you want to work that hard, and 20% of you want to do it yourself, and that's great. We all have our different things, and you can, but as I go through this, I want to tell you what his coaching program does. And you decide if you want us to do it for you, guaranteed, or if you want his coaching program to teach you how to do it, nothing guaranteed.
Yep. But Les, the one thing in which, look, let's be honest, there are certain things about my company that I don't want to give them to somebody else because I enjoy doing them. I don't want to see anybody else host this show because I enjoy doing this. This is something I truly enjoy. I want to make sure that this is something that I continue to be part of. But when it comes to something about social media or, LinkedIn, which is of course social media, and all of the things that are going on, you really would do yourself so much better if you've got somebody who specializes in closing business on social media. Look, if you want to get onto Facebook and have fun, go for it. I was talking to Les about some figures I found, Les, right, with Facebook, with boosting posts and stuff like that. Yeah. And just because we were talking about how money and social media, and look, I'm not going to say that boosting your posts aren't very good, but statistically, well, it is what it is. So, but Les, here's the letter that you gave me, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to expand the letter. Hopefully, people can see it a little bit better and take us off the screen, but people can still hear you, my friend.
Sure. Well, first off, Mike himself says you use LinkedIn to find prospects. Now, prospects are not leads. When you do your search on LinkedIn, you're looking for prospects. Now, a lead means it has a possibility beside it. A prospect doesn't. You have to go through all the prospects to find the leads. And that's what he says. The search bar under LinkedIn finds prospects. Now, the ones that connect with you, with the message you put out, those become leads. And he says it's got much, much more difficult in the last year and a half. It used to have, and any time you want to stop me, let me know. It used to have 147 industries. Now it has 400. How do you find your ideal client? In fact, there's now 430 industries. LinkedIn provides a list of them and how to use them. Unfortunately, Mike says that information on how to use them is 900 lines long. And that's one of his coaching programs. He says it's extremely complex. And part of his coaching program is to show you how to use it. He always suggests Sales Navigator. If you're not working with Sales Navigator, you're really not doing everything. And I'm going to go through the reasons for it. Now, Sales Navigator, if you buy annually, is $80, $79.99. If you buy monthly, it's $99. So first off, you've just used up 100 of the 1,000 we charge you. Now, a free account, this is one of the things he said they've started in the last year. It used to be you could contact amount of people per week, and they allowed you to talk to them. Now, a free account only allows 10 connection requests per month with a text. Now, he talked about two parts. He says there's two parts of LinkedIn. One is your profile. He has 3 different books out for you to read to learn how to build your profile. And if you have an excellent profile, he says when you contact people without a text, without information while you're doing it, they connect and they decide they want to connect with you by your profile and your picture and the background and all these things that he teaches. And like he says, mainly he doesn't do that anymore. He just sends people to his 3 books. And but you're only able to do 10. On LinkedIn, you're able to on Sales Navigator for $100 a month, you have unlimited. Now, when you get your search results from LinkedIn Navigator. You now have to pick and choose who you want to be on the lead list. And he says you download it and you go through each single one and determine, is this the one that you think will become a lead? And so you purge it. And again, his coaching shows you how to do that. Now, the other thing is that he eliminates the ones that don't have pictures immediately. He says if they don't have pictures, he doesn't feel they're serious about LinkedIn.
Yeah.
And the next thing he does is scrub out all the names like bartenders if you're looking for business owners. The thing about LinkedIn is no matter how many job positions you have, it's on there. And so if you're now own your own company, but it shows you're a bartender and so forth, you have to scrub out all of those job indications that you don't want. He says when you start this, you're going to be spending 30 minutes a day. As you get going, and when we go into different things, you can easily do an hour, hour and a half a day. And again, it depends on what your time's worth. Again, ours is $250 a week. How many hours of your time is worth $250 a week? And again, if you don't have anything but $100 a month, go for it. Try to do your own LinkedIn, but hopefully you can make some money and we can help you. And LinkedIn has multiple job listings on their profile. Now, when the connection request comes in, you're again going to scrub the list. Because if it isn't the person that you want, you're going to scrub the list. And if then you're going to want to get to know them, or are they just trying to sell you something?
Yep.
And that's one of the big ones. He says you will have so many connect with you just to sell you something. So now you have to scrub it again. Now the ones
Let me bring up an example on this, Les. Sure. Is that actually it was yesterday that I got a message on LinkedIn, a direct message yesterday on LinkedIn that said, "Hey Zach, we looked at your website and we think that we can help you up your sales 20 times." Les, I don't sell anything. How are you going to, my friend, we want people to do business with you. I don't sell anything. That just proves that, one, they didn't look at my website, because we don't sell anything. Okay. We tell people about our wonderful partners such as yourself. We let you guys do the talking. You guys are the important people. You are the ones who do all the sale. You guys are the professionals of what you do. So you've really got to be careful. And if you look under the direct messages, it'll show sponsor, that this person is a sponsor in the direct messages. And if it says sponsor, that means that you're getting a canned message that another 1,000 people got. Okay. So, and, it's unfortunately, LinkedIn has become something like, we've had a lot of problems with it. Like you're saying, it's a wonderful, wonderful tool when it's used right. Unfortunately, people have found ways to get around that. But I wanted to bring that up because that happened to me yesterday where, hey, Zach, I was looking at your website. I love the work that you do. We can help increase your sales 20-fold.
Yeah.
What sales?
Yeah, it kind of shows they didn't know what they were talking about. And now you'll find ones that you really want to reach out to. And here it becomes very, very important. Through his coaching program, he will teach you a book exactly what to say. He says he will give you different parts of it with the coaching program where he really suggests you buy it and read it, because he did. And he really believes in it. because what you don't want to do is say anything to scare them off with the wrong language. And another author on this is Phil M. Jones. Or no, pardon me, that is the author, Phil M. Jones. And so, folks, all of this to just get some people connecting you on LinkedIn when $1,000 a month, and we'll do it all for you. Anyway.
And it's guaranteed.
Yep, and it's guaranteed. But from your connection request, this is very important. And I had no idea. This one blew my mind. You now have a time and day of the week when they're on LinkedIn. I had no concept. And you need to write down those times and days and reply to them on those times and days when they're on LinkedIn. Otherwise, you could miss them.
Wow.
And that blew my mind. And yeah, generally people have a certain time they check their account. If the person connected with you on 10 a.m. on Tuesday, you need to make a note and do your messages back at the same time. I mean, to me, folks, this is a heck of a lot of work. But again, if you're into LinkedIn and you really want to go after it, then that's great. I mean, everybody has their specialty. Some of you are probably biting at the bit to get on a call with Mike. Once they connect with you, then they need to look over their profits and let's see, once you connect with them, you need to look over, over their profits and what you have in it's not supposed to be profits. He said, once they connected with you, it's time for you to examine their social media. You need to go down their social media and find out if they're a skier. You need to find out if they enjoy Costa Rica. You need to go to Facebook and find out something that allows you to be part of them, and you need to reply to it. In fact, he says that every Saturday for 2 hours, he has a group coaching where he will show people how to reply to these conversations, and which are great. I mean, if you do all this, I'm sure you learn how to connect both socially, also outside of LinkedIn with people. If you just want to get to know them, if you're going to be introduced to an executive in a company, learn about all of them on social media. So when you get there, you realize both of you play pickleball. Let's see here. And he said, this blew my mind. The guy is a world expert. Companies pay him $10,000 to come in and talk to their salespeople. And he sets very low goals. Why? Read it. So he won't be disappointed. If a top expert like this on LinkedIn gets disappointed, what are we going to be? And with all this above, he likes to have 5 conversations a month that go on, continue, and which ends up in 2 or 3 customers. Again, I'm sorry, folks, that sounds an awful lot like a lot of labor. Now, if you have 10 hours a week to do this, phenomenal. And now 45 minutes.
Yeah, I think that's a great point right there, Les. If you got that extra 10 minutes or 10 hours a week, hey, but if you think you've got that extra 10 hours a week, think of all the other things that you could be doing with your business. When you've got a guarantee that somebody can turn this into success. I really think that that's one of those things that you really have to consider. Okay, I could be doing this, or I could be out networking, or I could be out, networking with the other real people, or I could be out there, schmoozing or doing whatever. So again, that is such a good point.
And And as it says on there, he did not mention individual appointments. But if he gets $2,000 for 30 minutes for this webinar, I don't know who could afford him for personal, but he does group coaching. And anybody that wants to go to schedule, I just said, schedule Mike. No, there's another word in there.
If you'd like to meet with him.
Yeah. I said it to start with. It's not let's schedule Mike. It's something schedule Mike. And in fact, you probably look it up. One person found it on Google, but you can get 30 to 60 minutes with him free. And then he will talk to you about his program. 30 to 60 minutes free, show you what's, let's schedule. Boy, it just passes me, but I had it to start with. I'm going to have to write that down because everybody's going to ask me how to get all of it.
Let me see if I can also do something else here real quick. Oh, geez.
Maybe it was let's schedule Mike. I don't think so.
Let me try something here. And while you're reading, I'll do this.
And but again, I've already mentioned this. The guy is a genius on LinkedIn, or he at least has, like he says, he lives in Madrid, Spain, and he doesn't have to ever go anywhere. He does. They have him speak in front of groups, and I can imagine what he gets paid for that. But again, he's known as a LinkedIn expert worldwide. And his wife is also a LinkedIn expert, and you pay her if you want to have her do your posts. You pay her if you want her to do a 90-second video for a post. And she teaches that part of it. They've been together for a long time, and she's also known as a world expert. But again, the point I'm trying to make here, and folks, for you that want it, schedule with Mike. That's it. Schedule with Mike. If you go to schedule with Mike, then you can talk to him for 30. He says up to 60 minutes, and then he will basically, of course, show you the coaching programs, and then go from there.
And Les, I just found this, and I think this would be very interesting to people, that Mike also is an author.
Oh yeah, 3 different books.
So, and I just found a couple of his books that you can find on Amazon. Let me get it all clicked up here. And this one is Exactly What to Say, The Magic Words for Influence. So, and then you can watch a little bit about him. You just go and you can find him. And I'm pretty sure if you look through here, you can also find that link. But we will link that to the show notes. We will link that place where you can schedule with Mike, and we will link that to it. But Exactly What to Say is one of his books, and it looks like it's anywhere from $3 to $11.99 here. So, but what was the most? You already mentioned that you were shocked, and what you were shocked about on the 10 minutes thing. I can see that because I've got it set on some days. This is when I'm on LinkedIn. This is when I check out this social media outlet. This is when I check out this social media outlet. This is when I do the website. This is when I do the other stuff. I do that to try to, wow, hello, dog. That's when I try to make sure that, I'm trying to keep myself in a schedule and keep myself, organized a little bit. But again, Les, that would be something that I wouldn't have to do if I had somebody else doing it.
Correct.
Do they monitor your LinkedIn?
Clarify, monitor.
Like, are they watching for people who message you?
Oh, yes. Yeah. And then they message back. It's a complete system. We find the clients, we connect with them, and then we do the messaging back and forth. And after about 5 times of what they're saying that we like, then we introduce them to the client. And what we do is we set them, provide their calendar so they can set up a time for our client and talk to them direct.
Okay. And once again, if you go to corecentricanews.com, you can sign up for that newsletter, and it opens up to where you can learn so much more about this. Les, this is such vital information for people who are building a company or people who are trying to move their company into the modern day of doing things. Because let's be honest, my grandfather built towers for a living. He never touched a computer. Never touched a computer.
Mm-hmm.
He wouldn't know what to do with the computer if somebody set one in front of him. He wouldn't have any idea on what to do with it. He knew everything by carrying a little notebook in his pocket with a pencil right next to his cigarettes. But that man climbed radio towers every day of his adult life. That's not the way business is done anymore. Business is done, it's been made easier through, sometimes more frustrating, but easier because of platforms like LinkedIn. And CoreCentric can really get in there and do some wonderful things for you, can they not?
That's very much so. In fact, I want to expand on this. First off, this is our entrance program. We also market for the Fortune 5000. In fact, we had 3 things happen this way. Pretty amazing. We provide packaging, we provide booths, trade booths, and so forth for manufacturers. We really work with medical. And the reason I'm mentioning all this, if you know businesses in this area, let them know about me because we can tremendously increase their sales. Medical manufacturing, technology, and software. And we had an interesting this week, a big pet food manufacturer contacted us and say, hey, can I get in there? So now that's a new one. But the other thing is we had a private equity group and a VC group contact us and want us to be marketing for all their companies because they can guarantee sales on them. This is really serious stuff, folks. Help the companies you know because they're looking for quality marketing. Their marketing is failing, and we could change that.
Once again, go to corecentricanews.com, sign up for their newsletter, and this will open up a new world to you and your business. It'll make things so much better because you can have people who focus on these things. And look, as Les was already saying, there's changes to where you only get 10 for the free account. I didn't even know that because social media changes all the time. They change their everything about them is always changing. It's so much better for you and for your company if you have somebody who knows what's going on to watch what's going on. So, but Les, you got anything else for us, my friend?
No, I think that'll do it. And I hope this was educational for people, not just the sales situation, because CoreCentric is easy sales. and there's not that much to say about it. But I just wanted to understand, people understand the other side of LinkedIn marketing that works.
You know, this was LinkedIn is one of those that I know the value of it. I know how beneficial it can be for my company, but to be able to use it correctly is difficult at times.
Very much so.
And business, talking to someone else in business is not always the easiest thing to do, because business is like talking to somebody from another country a lot of times.
Yeah.
We talk the same language, but we talk in a way different, in a completely different, in a different way, where, I'm a little looser on the way that I speak. Some other people are more uptight, more, more professional, more straight to the point. And I'm a little loosey goosey when I talk. So, LinkedIn is one of those things that you got to be very careful on what you put out there. You got to be very careful what you say, because the wrong people are going to see it the wrong way. So having people who are professional, having people who are out there who are doing it correctly is a great thing. So you can always get a hold of Les at his email address, les@corecentrica.com. That's les@corecentrica.com. Once again, the website is www.corecentricanews.com. That gets you the newsletter that tells you about everything that they got coming up. Look, it's going to change. It's going to change all the time. It's social media. That's what they do. They change it. And there's nothing we can do about that. It changes. Have somebody who's ready for those changes, and make sure your business is one of those that's ready to go. So, Les, thank you for joining us on this day. As always, thank you very much for your service to our country. And happy anniversary, my friend.
Thank you. Yeah, we're going up to spend it in Rocky Mountain National Park. We downloaded one of these apps that takes us all around the park. And the only thing is, I don't know if you're aware of it, with Bear Lake has been damaged so much with all the foot traffic. You have to get there on appointment to go in, and there's only so many 100 they allow into Rocky Mountain Park in one day.
Wow. Yeah, that's, our nature sure is fragile. It sure is. It really is. But, well, I hope you guys have a lot of fun. Be safe out there. But you guys have fun. And Les, I will talk to you again next month.
Sounds great.
All right. Thank you, my friend. Goodbye. Les Simpson with CoreCentrica. Once again, that's les@corecentrica.com. Look, I'm serious when I say this. LinkedIn is just like every other social media out there. They're going to change on you just like that. They don't, Google. I didn't understand why my email blasts, why they weren't getting addressed and opened as much. I went to a person who knows what they're doing, and Google had changed things so people stopped getting spammed as much. I had no idea. She was able to go on there. She was able to figure it out, and she was able to start getting my emails opened at about a 32% click. And any of you guys who know anything about email blasts being open know that 32%, it's pretty damn good. So I want to thank Les one more time for joining us today. Again, look, what they're offering, money back guarantee, folks. And yeah, $1,000, that's not inexpensive. But navigating something like LinkedIn for your $1,000, I think that's a wonderful, wonderful idea. And I'm surely looking forward to being able to do that. So I look forward to doing that. Coming up in just a minute, I'm going to play a recording that that I was lucky enough to do last week with a new friend of mine, Liesa Witt. She, oh, by the way, there's CoreCentricaNews.com, CoreCentricaNews.com. But I was able to do this interview with my friend Liesa Witt last week. She is newer to the country, and I asked her a couple of questions about, what's going on? What does she feel? What are things that are different from where she's at, what came from? It was a really interesting conversation for me, because I got to ask some things that, I've been wondering as just a citizen. So I will be back in just a minute with my interview with Liesa Witt of the Witt Collective. This is information right now about our new event that's going to be coming up, a miracle of the community that cares. This holiday season, as the world celebrates in so many ways, some families are facing it apart, feeling the weight of loneliness. At a miracle of a community that cares, we are creating a space where everyone, regardless of faith or background, can share in the joy of this wonderful season. Join Santa and leaders from all walks of life for stories, special shout-outs, and heartfelt messages from loved ones near and far. Children are taking the lead with art and fun, helping us bring the gift of books to children everywhere. Children in hospitals, children to families of all faiths, and to fortify traditions of families. This season, let's come together as a global community, one that cares, one that gives, and one that embraces all cultures, part of the miracle. Join us from December 24th to December 26th, and let's make this season unforgettable for everyone. Whoever said ignorance is bliss never ran a business. Did you know the vast majority of businesses don't make their products accessible to people with disabilities? And did you know that the collective buying power of people with disabilities is over $2 trillion? And if you're a business owner, you need to know how to make your business accessible so you're not leaving this money on the table. I want to tell you about my family partners at Real Life Access, who can help you connect with this underserved market. Real Life Access clients experience 3 amazing things. First, a reputation for accessibility that brings customers to your door. Second, a freedom of worry about legal consequences from not being ADA compliant. And third, increased revenue. Real Life Access team members offer common sense accessibility solutions which won't break your budget. These are business people who understand the challenges faced by all small businesses. They are also people with disabilities who know what it takes to be accessible. Check out their courses, coaching packages, and so much more at reallifeaccess.com. You'll be glad you did. Introducing Shop, Click, and Pick, the simplest way to support those doing good in communities everywhere. We understand that shopping is a necessity, but with a slight adjustment, you can make a huge difference without spending any extra money. Here's how it works. Please visit communitypayitforward.us and navigate to the Find Your Partners tab. Discover our verified giving partners, which are trusted allies ready to meet your needs. Shop with any of the partners that resonate with you. Click a picture of the receipt or invoice, then pick the mission partner you wish to support and use their QR code to send the receipt directly to us. After that, all you have to do is sit back and enjoy your purchases, knowing that you've made a meaningful change for someone in need. Community Pay It Forward amplifies your business's impact by sharing the story of those who require your services, rallying support for those who need us all. Because no one needs to go it alone when we all come together. This holiday season, as the world celebrates in so many ways, some families are facing it apart, feeling the weight of loneliness. At a miracle of a community that cares, we are creating a space where everyone, regardless of faith or background, can share in the joy of this wonderful season. Join Santa and leaders from all walks of life for stories, special shout-outs, and heartfelt messages from loved ones near and far. Children are taking the lead with art and fun, helping us bring the gift of books to children everywhere. Children in hospitals, children to families of all faiths, and to fortify traditions of families. This season, let's come together as a global community, one that cares, one that gives, and one that embraces all cultures, part of the miracle. Join us from December 24th to December 26th, and let's make this season unforgettable for everyone. So, again, I want to thank Les for joining us today and every second Wednesday of the month. Just think, this time next month, when Les joins us, he joins us on the 9th of next month. Well, the next day is our brand new networking program, Family Networking. Hey, I do want to talk just real quickly about the events that we have coming up. We have a couple great events that are all tied together. And I've also got a dog that's pushing on my arm. Ghost is here with me. He is right here. As you can kind of see, the big white guy, he smells dog treats, so he's kind of flipping out a little bit. And he's gonna try to sneak up there and get him, even though those are his sisters. Dogs, I'm telling you. And we're part of a pet store. Well, this is why. We've got these wonderful animals that we love. But we do have a couple events coming up that are all tied into one. The main event, and he's sneaking around trying to get him on the other side. What a punk. This dog, I'm telling you, he's probably going to knock over a computer, and that's not going to make Daddy very happy. So anyway, if you go to communitypayitforward.us and you hover over the Community Dare to Care tab, you will find Miracle of a Community That Cares. This is the information about our wonderful program that we've got coming up. Would you get down, please? That is it's a program for all to join. It's a program for everyone to benefit from. This happens on December 24th is when it begins at 2 p.m. here in the Mountain Time. I start playing what we have gathered, all the information we've gathered at 2 p.m. And then it will end at 4 a.m. Mountain Time on December 26th. What that does is it encompasses the entirety of Christmas Day. From the time it turns Christmas, the first person who says, Merry Christmas into this world, till the last person, Merry Christmas in Honolulu, Hawaii. So, but the Miracle of a Community That Cares can be found on the page. And again, you come up here to Community Dare to Care, you hover over it, and right there is all of the information. Okay, just simply click on that. It'll come to this page. You have our little countdown. You have the video that you can watch. You have our wonderful sponsors. And then you have a little bit of information, okay? You look through some of this information. If that looks good to you, what you can do is you can click on this right here. You take and you open it up, and it takes you to this form that you see, this QR code. It takes you to what's called a JOT form, okay? You can, at this point in time, take and open it up, open up the PDF, or you can read it from right here. In the program, you can read it from right here. You can see what everything is all about, okay? You can read the entire thing, find out how you are comfortable participating in the program. You tell us what you want to do because we need it all. You can tell us all about yourself. Are you applying for assistance? Would you like us to say something to your child, or say something to, do you want to get a message to somebody who is unable to be with you for the holiday season? No matter what culture, it does not matter. No matter what culture. Do you want to take and turn your channel into a community watch option, which means we take over for 37 hours your page, so people can take and watch our show on your page. Do you want to be a financial sponsor? Do you want to be a donor for children's books? Do you want to be a community leader who can help us build the collection boxes for young people to help us collect books for kids in their hospitals? Fill all that out. We also need help with social media. We need help sharing this out, okay? Our goal, and I just talked to Les about this, and I'll just say it. I think it'd be pretty cool if we could all get together and we could turn, boy, you really like that treat. If we could get together and we do some work and we end up, there's nothing in my hand. Wow. Amazing. if we can get together and we can break a Guinness Book of World Record for the world's largest book collection event. How would you like to be a part of that? I think it would be really neat if we worked together and if we were able to take and deliver toys to the majority of the hospitals in the world, to kids that are suffering, kids who cannot be home. If we get extra books, we can deliver books to kids who maybe mom and dad had a tough financial year and they just need a gift. This is a way that we can take and maybe help them out there as well. Look, I'll be honest. I would love to be able to give every child on earth a book, a journal, art supplies, no matter what it is. I'd love to give a kid any and all of that. It would be fantastic for me. I would just really get a kick out of it. If you're back on this page and you scroll down a little bit, you will find the information for the 2024 Chili Cook-Off and Poker for Pediatrics, which is coming up November 3rd here in Greeley, Colorado. You know what? Say you don't live in Greeley? Well, get in your vehicle. We're not that far. Okay, so we're probably quite far from you, but you know what? It'd still be really well worth it. Come on in. Bring us your chili. Bring us your poker face. Let's have some fun. Let's raise some money for the kids in Northern Colorado hospitals. It's going to be during a game that, okay, so I fibbed earlier. There's at least one more week of the NFL season, and that's the November 3rd week because we're going to be watching a game. It's going to be Denver versus Baltimore. So we'll be watching that there at our wonderful partner business, Key Largo Lounge. We've done this with Key Largo since we began. I drove by a hospital today and I told Adrian the story that when we first started this, and I went and delivered a big old box to this hospital. This hospital had been open for 6 days. That's it, 6 days. And we walked in and I dropped off the box. I dropped this off to him and I said, thank you for what you do. And the nurses were emotional. The nurses were just kind of freaking out. They're like going, you know, we just opened. We haven't even been able to help anybody. And I'm like going, but you're going to. It's cool. It's neat to be able to do that. I want you to be able to experience that with us. Help us collect books in your neighborhood. It's very, very simple, folks. What we do is we have the families take and open the books right inside. This is from the Smith family too, and leave it blank. And then the nurses can take and they can write a child's name inside that book. And then they can take that child a book. And they can hand this child a book, or they can read this child a book. And this child knows somebody in this community cares about me. We can have these kids help us design these wonderful collection boxes by simply decorating a poster board, taking 3 or 4 of those poster boards and putting them on the sides of a box that you can get at Walmart for under $3. Take and stick those on the side of it. Let me know where you're going to be, and I will send you something that you can put on the outside to let people know what we're doing. We will announce on this show, we'll announce on the website, we'll announce everywhere we can. We will announce on the day of the recording where your box is. I'd love to be able to take and spend one of the 37 hours or 3 of the 37 hours just giving addresses of places where people can go and drop off books to give to kids. This is exciting. We're excited. I need you to be excited with us. QR code right up here will take you to that job form I was telling you about. The job form looks like this. All you have to do is look for it. It says the miracle of a community Christmas. Okay. You open this up. You tell us what you can do. Scroll down just a little bit and it takes you to all the information, everything that we have. This gets updated every time I need to update it. Give us some information, folks, and I'll update it. Help us make a difference. We need you to help everyone. That is our goal. Let's make and let's defeat that feeling of loneliness for moms and dads who cannot be with their kids, for grandmas and grandpas who cannot be there, for brothers and sisters who can't be together, aunts and uncles. And you know what? If we can make it happen, even if you're in a place where you don't want to be this time of year, but we have permission to take and show your kid, tell your kids hi, wish them a Merry holiday, happy holiday. If we can tell the people that are serving our country, thank you. If we can tell the truck drivers who are driving on Christmas Day, thank you. People who are busting their butt, nurses, doctors, EMTs, police officers, oil rig workers, cooks, waitresses, waiters. No matter what they do, if they're spending time away from their family, this holiday season, we want to make sure that we can tell them, hey, we see you, we feel you, we love you. Join us. QR code up in the corner is the best way to do it. All you have to do is get on there and you can help us create a miracle of a community that cares this year. And then we'll start it again next year. So join us first for the chili cook-off, November 3rd at Key Largo Lounge in Greeley. Look, don't want to brag or anything, but I make a pretty darn good chili. I challenge you. Let's go. Let's go. Now, saying this, if we get 20 chilies, I'm out. I don't compete. Let's get 20 chilies. I don't want to compete. I don't want to cook. I don't want to have to do it. But I will, and I'll win. Thank you for joining us today. Thank you for being part of what we do on Community IMpACT. If you or someone in your family you know what? I'm going to go a different direction with this. 23 years ago, our country took a hit. Your family took a hit. If you have an immediate family member whose life was changed or even lost on that day, I send a very, very special and heartfelt message of love to you. And I thank them for doing what they were doing on that day when their life was senselessly lost. But again, that day proved something very special to all of us in the United States. I don't have to be just like you to work with you. I never felt more American than I did at that point in time. I never felt more pride in our country than I did at that time. I think we can start building that pride back up. We've had enough of this division. We've had enough of this BS. Let's stop. Let's let happen what happens. Get out there and vote. Do your duty. Vote. And I'm not going to tell you which side to vote for. That's up to you. I will tell you what I tell my kids. And I've told them both, I don't care who you vote for. I do care, but they can vote for whoever they want, as long as they vote. And if you do not vote, you should not speak. Don't complain about the way things are if you are not going to make a difference. If you don't care enough to make a difference, don't complain about it. But just remember, we need to work together to change the world. One person cannot do that. One person does not have that ability to do it on their own. My name is Zach Clayton, Community Pay It Forward, Community Dare to Care, and the IMpACT channels. I would like to say thank you very much for joining me today. Please make sure that you join us by scanning this QR code in the corner. Let's collect books. Let's say hi to each other over the holidays. Let's make sure every family knows that you can connect to someone in your family who's feeling left out. Because December is ridiculous when it comes to suicide numbers. Let's make a difference. Together, let's do this. Let's be the miracle of a community that cares. Please love somebody out there, because somebody out here loves you. Remember, if you're not helping someone, you're hurting everyone. No one needs to go it alone when we all come together. I thank you very much again. I will see you next week with another. Oh, we're going to be starting a new show. It's going to be kind of a funny name. I think you're going to enjoy it. I hope you're looking forward to that. Next week, halfway mark of the One Hope Wine Community Pay It Forward fundraiser. This holiday season, as the world celebrates in so many ways, some families are facing it apart, feeling the weight of loneliness. At a miracle of a community that cares, we are creating a space where everyone, regardless of faith or background, can share in the joy of this wonderful season. Join Santa and leaders from all walks of life for stories, special shout-outs, and heartfelt messages from loved ones near and far. Children are taking the lead with art and fun, helping us bring the gift of books to children everywhere. Children in hospitals, children to families of all faiths, and to fortify traditions of families. This season, let's come together as a global community, one that cares, one that gives, and one that embraces all cultures, part of the miracle.